Testing 1, 2. This is David. You good?
We have
You can
quorum.
hear me? Thank you.
Notice of a public meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Brownsville pursuant to Chapter 551, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act. Notice is hereby given that the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, has scheduled a regular meeting on Thursday, April 4th, 2024, at 5:30 p.m. in the City Commission Chambers on the second floor of the Brownsville City Hall Old Federal Building located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas, 78520.
We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If we can have roll call, please.
David Ramirez.
Troy Whittemore.
Eliza Vasquez.
Aida Rodriguez.
David Betancourt.
Thank you.
There are no updates and comments at this moment.
Okay.
There will be approval of the minutes for the regular meeting on March 7th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Items for individual consideration. Item number 1, consideration and action to grant a subdivision waiver for the Double O Estates subdivision located in the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the City of Brownsville from the municipal planning process and solely proceeding with Cameron County jurisdiction.
This is to grant a subdivision waiver for the Double O Estates subdivision. The layout of the subdivision will be listed there. I believe it's already been, as far as Martin and Eduardo go, are good.
Staff approves.
Yeah.
Where is this at? What street are we talking about?
On this one, I'm not too sure.
Yes,
where
to
this-
interject, this is also the last one.
Martin Vega and Eduardo Garrido are joining us through video conferencing,
Oh, okay.
so you can hear them. They're here. But we just hear.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. I need a motion.
Okay, I make a motion. Do we approve it? Okay, I make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
Consent agenda items. Items number 1, 2, and 3, consideration and action. The Heights at Riverbend 2, Phase 1B, preliminary plat. The Garden Heights subdivision, master plan. And the Garden Heights subdivision, Phase 1, preliminary plat.
These are all approved so far, pending minor adjustments.
So where is the Garden Heights subdivision?
And just for clarification, the Garden Heights subdivision is off of Salida de Luna and Salida del Sol, north of Ruben Torres Boulevard.
Okay, got it.
Martin, are they all single family?
Yes, sir, they're all single family.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Make a motion to approve items 1, 2, and 3.
I second.
We have a first and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Public hearing, item number 1. Public hearing and action on ordinance number 235, 2024, 008, to rezone from agriculture to residential single-family to allow a single-family subdivision on a 14.616 acre out of 160.749 acres of the north portion of tracts 1 through 10 in shares 1 and 17, Espiritu Santo Grant, Cameron County, Texas, out of 3,000.30.24 acre tract and out of a 525 acre tract located on Charger Lane, Brownsville, Texas, 78520.
Okay, so this one is to request a rezone from the current zoning of agriculture to residential single-family. The proposed use is for a single-family subdivision, and this property is fronting Charger Lane, which is by Veterans Memorial High School. This is the aerial view for that section. As you can see, predominantly that area is undeveloped land. There were 5 mailouts with 0 written opposition. This is going to be the zoning map. Currently, that property is outside city limits, but will be annexed into the city. And the abutting zoning use is a mixture of ETJ and residential single-family. The request is consistent with the comprehensive plan and the future land use plan, and staff does recommend approval to rezone from agriculture to residential single-family.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public hearing. If there's anyone that'd like to speak on this topic, you can come forward at this time. How many lots are we talking about?
The number of lots, I'm not too sure on that one. Martin might be able to speak on that one.
Yes, so for clarification, this property has already been annexed into the city. It was presented for second reading on Tuesday at City Commission. The amount of lots is going to be a total of 133.
And there's 6,000 square feet, Martin?
They're larger. They're averaging from 7,000 to 8,000.
Okay.
Where's the entrance to this subdivision?
It's going to be on Charger Lane. It's a fairly new road that's abutting. So if you're looking at it from the road to where Veterans High School is, to the right side of it, there's where Charger Lane starts, coming from, I think it's military.
281?
Yeah, 281.
It just doesn't show on this map because it's brand new.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I second.
We have a first and a second to close public hearing. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. What is the wish of the commission?
So move to accept the rezoning from agriculture to a single-family residence.
I second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 2, public hearing and action on ordinance number 235, 2024-009, to rezone from agriculture to residential single-family to allow a single-family subdivision for 26.364 acres out of 104.12 acres, being all out of of 3 tracts. Tract 1, 65.57 acres out of 81.213 acre tract. Tract 2, 8.43 acres, and Tract 3, 30.11 acres, being all of Block 187, El Jardín re-subdivision, Share 28, Cameron County, Texas, located on Salida de la Luna, Salida del Sol, Brownsville, Texas, 78526.
So this one is similar in the sense it's going to be a request to rezone from agriculture to residential single-family for a new single-family subdivision. This property, like is mentioned, is fronting Salida de Luna and Salida del Sol. It's one of the plats that was mentioned earlier in the consent agenda items. This is to rezone those.
The Garden Heights subdivision. Okay.
This is the aerial view. As you can see, that area is predominantly undeveloped land with, looks like new subdivisions to the southeast area that are being proposed.
Is that a school next to it?
Yes.
Which school is that?
There were 5 mailouts with 0 written opposition. This is the current zoning for the area, predominantly agriculture. There's some ETJ to the west. To the north, it's a mixture of agriculture, residential estate, and single family. And then to the south and southeast is also a single family. The request is consistent with the comprehensive plan and the future land use plan, so staff does recommend approval to rezone from agriculture to residential single family.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public hearing. If there's anyone that would like to speak on this topic, they can come forward at this moment. Do we have any questions?
So moved to close public hearing.
Second.
We have a first and a second to close public hearing. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to approve as per the staff's recommendation.
I second.
We have a first and a second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 3, public hearing and action on ordinance number 235, 2024, 010, to rezone from agriculture to residential suburban to allow a single-family subdivision on a reduced-sized lot for 9.50 acres of land, 9.61 acres deed, comprised of 8.63 acres of Reserve A Medrano subdivision and a 0.978 acre tract of land out of 1.84 acre tract of land, all of El Jardín re-subdivision, Share 29, Espiritu Santo Grant, Cameron County, Texas, located on Vermilion Avenue, Brownsville, Texas, 78521.
This one is a little similar also to the first two in the sense that it's currently agriculture and they're wanting to rezone it to allow single-family subdivision. The only difference being that this is going to be rezoned to R2, residential suburban zoning, and this property is fronting Vermilion Avenue. This is the current aerial for the location. To the right, there is a school. To Boca Chica area, there are some residences there, and same thing to the north, to the west. There were 23 mailouts with 0 written opposition. This is the current zoning layout for that area. To the north and northwest, it's all ETJ. To the right, where the school is commercial corridor with some light industrial, and to the south, it's a mixture of commercial corridor and light industrial as well. The request is consistent with the comprehensive plan and the future land use plan, and staff does recommend the approval to rezone from agriculture to residential suburban R2.
I have a question. When you send out those mailouts, was there any mention of a reduced size lot? And what does a reduced size lot mean?
So the reason they went with R2 zoning is the typical residential single-family zoning has a minimum lot requirement of 5,000 square feet. They were going to do slightly less than that. So they went for the R2 zoning. That zoning has a minimum lot requirement of 2,000 square feet. So it won't be 2,000 square feet, but it's going to be less than the 5,000 that residential single-family zoning requires.
So somewhere between 2,000 and 5,000.
Yeah. It's going to be for a private subdivision, single-family subdivision.
To clarify, the standard size in that subdivision is going to be around 4,800 square feet. The reason why they decided to do, and also the best route that staff saw as a plausible route for this particular development, it was to rezone to R2 to be able to accommodate the reduced size of, as mentioned, the 4,800 square feet. The reason why it's reduced is because the front property line, because it's going to be a private development, it's going to go to the center line of the private drive. So the area where the private drive will run it's going to be part of the overall lot size. When looking at the gross lot size, you're going to be looking at around the 6,500 square foot lot, but the overall buildable area is going to be around 4,900 square feet.
So am I understanding this correctly? Because of that private driveway, these lots are being reduced?
Because of the front property line going to the center line of the drive, the overall build or construction area, it gets reduced to 4,800 square feet.
Yeah, a portion of the lot will be dedicated to essentially the road access that's going to be used.
But the builder did have a choice of staying with 5,000, but doing less lots instead of reducing it to 4,800. Is that correct? Martin?
That is correct. However, it's their prerogative to, and their right to try and rezone, and it's up to the commission to, decide whether or not to let them proceed.
Okay. This is a public hearing. If there's anyone here that has any questions or would like to speak on this topic, come forward, please. Would you please state your name?
Good evening. My name is Joe Medrano, and I'm a small business owner and a property owner from that area my family has been there for many, many years. I'm excited about growth in that area, without a doubt. I think, as a matter of fact, this specific property, we owned it one time. My father owned it at one time. But I was curious also, I had the question as to what does a reduced size lot mean? And I guess that has kind of been explained, but it seems like the lots are gonna vary from one size to another, or are they gonna be consistently the same size to create a little uniformity in that area?
May I please have your name?
Say again?
Can I please have?
Oh, yes, Joe Medrano. I thought I said that, I'm sorry.
Martin, can you answer that question for him?
Yes, so for clarification purposes, there will be a consistency or a trend on lot size. The overall size, as mentioned, would be buildable size would be between 4,800 square feet and 4,900 square feet. So there will be uniformity.
Is there a proposed, I don't know, design or what is the end product gonna look like?
Do we have a copy of the master plan or anything? Is the,
I mean, are these concrete foundation? Are they, I mean, not that that necessarily matters, and I say this very, very respectfully, but there were a couple of subdivisions built up the road. When it was, I think, county, that area still may be county, and I say this respectfully, that area is on a growth pattern. There's a lot of kids out there, there's a lot of traffic out there, the roads need to be widened, but growth is necessary, but good growth that doesn't create traffic issues. It doesn't create, on a 4,800 square foot lot, the initial structure, and then the structure behind a structure, and then a shed, and then problems that could become negative later on. Again, I'm I'm looking forward to that growth in that area. I have a vested interest in that area for a lot of reasons. But I was just curious about what the structure might look like of one of those facility homes.
is the owner here Camco? Or any rep from Camco?
I believe that I've met him in an area where I'm near, and it is my understanding that it is 321 stucco, but I just want to make sure that that's still the plan.
And Martin, do we know what size those houses are going to be, more or less?
Based on what the developer has mentioned, or at least the representative, we're looking at around 1,500 square foot homes to 2,000 to occupy approximately half of the area of the lot. From what we understand, there will be on foundations, they will be made out of stucco, and as mentioned, there would be uniformity, and it would be a private development. It's a gated community. Now, as for, I did hear a concern about widening of roads that is also required as part of the planning process. Vermillion, I believe, is a secondary arterial. From the meetings we've had with them, they are willing to dedicate the additional right of way to accommodate or that secondary arterial requirement.
And Martin, how many lots does he want to get in there? And will it be 2-car garages or single car?
We're not that far into the process yet. We can't, the zoning process does not require them to specify the aesthetics or the floor plan of the homes. We don't know if it's going to be a 1 or 2-car garage. We do know that it will have a garage. However, we don't know how many vehicles it will accommodate. And right now, from what has been mentioned to us, it's 99 lots.
99 lots?
That is correct.
What about the utility services on that lot? I mean, I know when we owned it many, many, many years ago, there was literally nothing on there. But, I mean, where is that coming from? Across the street on the El Jardín side to cross over into that property, or do we know?
We do not. The requirements for a utility extension comes directly from the utility provider.
Okay.
We do
All
not
right.
have authority or jurisdiction to talk about where the utilities are coming from. It will be from El Jardín. However, I cannot specify where the connections will be or from which or where the extension will be made from.
Understood. I appreciate that. Okay. I think that answers my questions. Again, I just want to make sure that I emphasize, I'm definitely pro-growth, pro-business, pro-family, all in that area. You'll notice that the subdivision that this is from carries our family's last name, and so I just have an interest in that and in an additional property that we still have out there. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your comments. We appreciate that. Any other questions? We need to close public.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a first and a second motion to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. What is the wish of the commission? What are the concerns of the commission?
Small lot.
The small lots?
The small lot, 99 lots on 4,800 square feet. It's very congested for me that I see this. Like I said, we're all for growth, but 99 lots on this, it's going to be congested there. That's
So-
my concern.
What would the commission like to do?
What are the surrounding lots and what are the size of the lots in the surrounding areas? Because people need affordable housing. And we all want an acre land, 5,000 square foot home, but some people can't afford that. So it is important that we provide affordable housing for some of these people. And I think Vermillion might be the right area for a subdivision like this.
Martin, can you answer that question?
Can you repeat the question?
Well, I'm just suggesting that perhaps this area is conducive for small lots and for small homes so that they can be affordable for the community that doesn't have affordable housing at this time. And I think they're comparable. The size of these lots would be comparable to the surrounding areas. As long as it fits with the size of the ordinance of the city, I don't see a problem.
Go ahead, Mr. Medrano.
Well,
Can you come up to the mic, please?
Again, I'm all for affordable housing for everybody, no doubt. Just, I don't know if there's a comp but literally half a mile up the road, on the right-hand side, there's another subdivision going up. I think it's a little bit larger property than these 9 acres, but I would be curious as to what that lot size is and how many homes are going on that structure, just as a comparable. I don't know if that's city property or not, where that subdivision is going on.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did you all say that it was going to be gated community as well?
Yes.
Yes, that's what Mr.
Thank you.
Martin
That is
mentioned.
correct. It's gonna be a private gated community.
I've seen, $750,000 homes on a 5,000 square foot lot. We've all seen that, and that's great. That would be welcome. Again, as a community member from that area, I was curious as to what the final product might look like.
Is there any problems with requiring him to go with the minimum? I mean, you're talking.
You would have to deny the zoning case, because we cannot condition a zoning case to say you have to go with the minimum requirement. You would just have to simply deny it, and then they would have to reapply for an R1 zoning designation, which would require them to do 5,000 square foot lots.
We can't table it and see if we can get him in here so he doesn't lose his money and we can work with him? Because we have an engineer out there, Mr. Chavez. I mean, if you had 200 more feet to a lot, it wouldn't be that many lots less. I just hate setting a precedent of going something less than what the city's already established. I mean, 50 by 100 is pretty minimal.
Can we table
Well,
this, Martin?
I do want to remind the commission that last year, you approved a subdivision on North Dakota and Hackberry with the same parameters.
Okay.
I don't remember that. So what is the wish of the commission? I think we're at a.
I would make a
standstill.
motion to approve.
I second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to abstain for the record.
Aye.
How many ayes do we have? 3? 4? 4 ayes, those not in favor, nay. Motion carries. Next
Item number 4, public hearing and action on ordinance number 235, 2024, 012S, to request a specific use. Okay.
I think we're on
Yes.
4.
Item number 4, correction. Public hearing and action on ordinance number 235, 2024, 011, to rezone from commercial corridor to light industrial to allow industrial processing and storage lot for Lot 18 and the north half of Lot 19, Monsie's Acres, a subdivision in Block 41, Brownell subdivision, Share 28, Espiritu Santo Grant, Cameron County, Texas, located at 2025 North Minnesota Avenue, Brownsville, Texas, 78521.
So this case is to rezone a commercial corridor zoning to light industrial to allow for industrial processing and storage. This property is fronting Minnesota. This is the aerial view. As you can see to the west of it, there's a car and body and kind of like a tow yard area. To the north, there's looks like a mobile home park and a gas station. To the right is a mixture of residential, and there's a church. And to the south, it's also a mixture of residential and some commercial uses. There were 21 mail-outs with 0 written opposition. This is the current zoning layout for that area. That whole strip going north is commercial corridor. To the east, it's a mixture of residential estate and commercial corridor. To the west, it's light industrial, and then to the south, it's a mixture of commercial corridor and light industrial. The request is not consistent with the comprehensive plan and future land use plan, and staff does recommend denial to rezone from commercial corridor to light industrial.
Do we know what the plans were for this property? What
So
exactly?
From what I'm aware, it was to be basically a storage warehouse. And the reason for the denial is to incorporate all the potential risks of that storage, including chemicals being stored there, which is the reason for the denial, part of the reason.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. If there's anyone who would like to speak on this topic, if you'd come forward. Yes, ma'am? If you'll state your name.
Pudiera hablar en español.
Okay.
Sí, entiendo el inglés, pero...
Just speak, speak into the mic.
Sí, mi nombre es Mayra Jasso, el dueño de la propiedad es mi papá, tiene desde el 2018 que es dueño. Él empezó un negocio para tratar de retrabajar unos equipos usados para venderlos, pero ese negocio no funcionó porque llegó la pandemia y pues ya ahorita se está deshaciendo de los equipos. Entonces ahorita lo que quiere hacer es pues hacer uso de la bodega. Sí, no sé si la puedan ver en una foto, es una bodega y a un uso comercial, porque le decían, bueno, puedes poner una plaza, un restaurante o tipo, entonces la naturaleza de la construcción de la bodega no se puede como que construir ese tipo, utilizar para ese tipo de, ahorita que comentaba, o sea, químicos o algo, o sea, estamos apenas pensando en que se tiene que rentar al menos o vender, pero si lo quiere vender, pues alguien que tenga esa zona pues no lo va a querer comprar. Por lo pronto, y de hecho le han estado llamando muchas personas porque dicen hay mucho déficit de bodegas en Brownsville, o sea, ahorita con todo lo que se les va a venir de trabajo, dice, hasta incluso le dicen no la vendas, mantén la bodega porque dice, en el tiempo que se construyó, para construir otra bodega y en la ubicación que está cerca del aeropuerto o del puerto, dice, es muy difícil y va a salir muy caro. Entonces, en su momento la adquirió a un buen precio, pues en el 2019 me parece, entonces ahorita está en ese proceso de deshacerse de todo el equipo que está ahí, o sea, vendió muy poquito, entonces, porque pues todo era como que retrabajo de lo que tenía, entonces ahorita dice, pues a lo que lo puede ofrecer es de almacenaje o manufactura, o sea, no, obviamente las personas que llegaran a rentarla tienen que cumplir con los requisitos de un permiso de la ciudad. Y atrás pues está el yonque, no sé, está muy cerca de la avenida porque en la esquina está la International, y esa bodega pues ahí... Esa fue originalmente su uso, o sea, una bodega industrial.
Anybody have any questions? Gracias.
Yes, I
Okay.
wanted to interject to provide some background.
Yes,
just,
please.
to point out, staff did do some research on this warehouse. This warehouse, based on the CO and based on the previous zoning, even before the UDC, it was never zoned as industrial. It was zoned as commercial. It was never used at the capacity of an industrial warehouse. It was used for retail purposes. Now, based on conversations we had with the applicant, there has been companies or interest from people who would like to rent the warehouse for possibly store chemical. Now, this is potentially a hazard for adjacent residential uses that lie to the south and to the east of the property.
Okay. I understand that it's our responsibility to keep the public safe. I need a motion to close public hearing.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a first and a second motion to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. What is the wish of the commission?
So I'm to understand then that the reason why staff doesn't recommend it is because of the threat of potential chemicals?
Because of the zoning, we have to take in consideration all the potential uses, and that would include that use. So if they were to apply,
And it's right next to a tow truck lot where wrecked cars are dropped off?
yes, that section was actually, when that business was made, was actually not part of the city. It was done when it was part of the county. So the current zoning that it has of light industrial was only because once it became part of the city, they decided to keep it matching what was the existing business there.
But once that existing business goes away and we have a new use, then they'll be subject to the zoning,
Yeah.
correct?
I doubt all those cars have empty gas tanks.
What is the wish of the commission?
I just think it's unfair to put the blame on someone before something happens. Do we stop selling guns because of the threat that someone might use it against someone? I think it's the duty of the citizen to not put chemicals if they have signs up that no chemicals allowed. Or the city's job to police it.
Yeah, but if we leave it open to that, then that's part of, they are legally able to do that if we open that up, open that door.
No, I don't think it's allowed to, right? Am I wrong? That,
I'm sorry?
I've used storage rooms and they have big signs that say no chemicals allowed.
We cannot, for clarification, we cannot condition a zoning case. The LI district leaves it open for the storage. That's for something as minimal as just logistics and warehousing of, let's say, mechanical components all the way to the storage of chemicals or potentially hazardous materials.
So then that's just up to the owner to.
Exactly. Basically, the zoning district just opens the door to that possible use. So we cannot just say, well, you can have the LI district, but you cannot store chemicals.
Okay.
So Martin, under commercial corridor, could they utilize the warehouse for storage?
Can you repeat the question?
Under commercial corridor, could they use that warehouse for storage? They can't use it for storage at all?
No, they can use it as an accessory storage use to, let's say, a business, but not primarily as storage.
Okay. Any other questions? What is the wish of the commission?
I'm going to make a motion to deny as per staff's recommendation. That it's not
Second.
consistent with the comprehensive plan.
We have a first and a second to deny based on recommendation by staff. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 5, public hearing and action on ordinance number 235, 2024, 12S, to request a specific use permit in the traditional neighborhood mixed-use zoning designation to allow a used car lot for Lot 1, Block 1, Luis Valadez subdivision, Cameron County, Texas, located at 2055 West Monroe Street, Brownsville, Texas, 78520.
So this case is to to get a specific use permit to allow used car lot. The current zoning is traditional neighborhood mixed use. This is fronting West Monroe Street. This is the aerial view. As you can see, West Monroe Street is to the east. The largest street to the north is Boca Chica. You can see it's a mixture of residential, mostly residential, including multifamily, with a couple of dispersed commercial uses there. This is the current zoning for the area, predominantly a mixture of TN, traditional neighborhood mixed use, and traditional neighborhood, with a little bit of commercial corridor out there to the west. This is a layout of the proposed site. Currently, right now, it's a car wash. So that strip in the middle there is where the car wash bays are. And they also have an existing structure, I believe, to the back where they plan to store some vehicles. The request is not consistent with the comprehensive plan and future land use plan, but staff will remain neutral and follow the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission to allow specific use permit at this location. Although if approved, the use will be subject to the following conditions. To address some common complaints related to used car lots, that'll include vehicular clutter, so all organized parking of inventory and adequate space for traffic flow. Additional vegetation and buffers and screening will be required for property aesthetics. Parked inventory on right-of-way, so to accommodate to that is storage of all inventory within the property. Traffic when unloading of all the inventory would need to be done within the property. Privacy for abutting residential commercial uses, they will have to put up masonry walls. And nuisances produced by mechanic and bodywork. All proposed mechanic and bodywork will need to be done within an enclosed area.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak on this topic, they can come forward at this time.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a first and a second motion to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
We have a first and a second motion to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
I will add anything we can do to shut down another car wash.
Item number 6, public hearing and action on ordinance number 235, 2024, 013S, to request a specific use permit in commercial corridor zoning designation to allow an event center for lots 3 and 4, Los Ebanos Square subdivision, Cameron County, Texas, located at 1036 East Los Ebanos Boulevard, Brownsville, Texas, 78520.
So this request is also to request a specific use permit in this instance, so it's for a event center. Currently, it's a zoned commercial corridor, and it is fronting East Los Ebanos Boulevard. This is the aerial. It's going to be where that little area is. There's proposing a building. To the north, it is Dell Middle School. Surrounding it immediately is a mixture of different types of businesses, including dentistries and personal services. Then further to the south, there is a little bit of residential single family there. This is the current zoning for the area. As you can see, predominantly it's commercial corridor with a little bit of traditional neighborhood towards the south. This is a layout of the proposed event center, including the parking on the sides.
What's the square footage?
90 by 90.
That
Does it go back to that slide? It's basically a 90 by 90.
1,800 square feet, that's small.
The request is not consistent with the comprehensive plan and future land use plan, but similar to the other, staff will remain neutral and follow the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission to allow for a specific use permit for an event center at this location. Similar to the other one, if approved, the use will be subject to the following conditions, which would be sound mitigation regulations. They would be sound mitigation measures and interior finish-up materials, such as acoustic tiles or other approved sound dampening insulators, shall be installed to maintain a noise level less than or equal to 60 decibels when measured at the common property line, shared by the noise-emitting use and adjacent residential zoning districts.
Can we go back to the aerial? This is a public hearing. If there's anyone that would like to speak on this topic, if they would come forward at this time. You'll state your name.
Good evening. My name is Raquel Avila de Kerrick, and I'm the sister of the owner of this property, Elidia Avila, who is here. We have some pictures that we would like to share with you of the building. I understand the concern about the noise, but I believe that the way the building was designed, it made reduce significantly the noise to the exterior. In addition, the building was built of concrete, and it's in an area where most of the offices are schools, churches, medical offices. So as an event center, this place will be rented on the evenings where the places will be, I mean, there will not be people in the schools, so the medical offices. And initially, the building was, the idea for this place was to have a playground. The initial permit was for the playground. It was not approved. And then the second option was the event center. And we have considered that, the noise may be a concern, but the design, the way it is and the location, we think that will minimize the noise to the exterior. And maybe, and I know you are too busy to visit locations, but probably seeing the building may change, may address the concern. But this is a project that started more than 2 years ago, and we really need to get this resolved. So whatever we need to do, we have to do it. And you are welcome to ask for more information or visit the sites, whatever is needed.
So looking on, I guess, the second page, which space is going to be the event center, right in the middle?
Yeah, there are 3 units. The one in the middle is the entrance to the event center. So the 2 units on the sides will be an additional blocking for the noise for that side. And I guess the only side in the building, in case that there was gonna be too noisy, will be the back. But again, it's built of concrete, and there is medical offices on the back, empty on the evenings, empty on weekends when those events will take place.
So events will not be taking place during the day when these companies are operational?
No.
The other concern I have, not only with the noise, is parking, and it doesn't appear that there's enough parking
There's
there.
plenty of parking. It may be parking for 100 vehicles. On the information, we said for more than 50, but easily it can be 100 vehicles.
Where are you parking 100 vehicles? I don't see that.
The pictures are not very good, but if you see on the picture on the second page, the one that says on the top, executive summary, let me see.
Events will be limited to 95 people.
Yeah, but it's plenty of, okay, if you go to the page that says service offering, there is one, the first picture in black and white, that is all parking, and that is a big area.
So up on the screen up here on your right, you have that existing shared parking area? That's what she's mentioning.
Yeah, it is a big parking lot, and on the back is a driving school, the Arroyo Driving School, and that's perfect for driving a school because the big area for parking.
So who owns that parking lot?
That is,
I mean, how are you getting?
That owned by the owners. It's a shared parking for everybody located in the area, and right now the people in that area is the driving school, which they support our project, and the building. So it would be basically for the event center, the parking lot.
It was my understanding that that parking lot all belonged to the driving school.
No, no, it's not.
Any other questions?
And the owner of the driving school, she support the project. I mean, she understand.
This says the events will be limited to 95 people. How are we going to limit that to 95 people?
What is the question? I'm sorry.
Your executive summary says that the events will be limited to 95 people. How are
Yes.
we going to control that?
The occupant load is put on the certificate of occupancy and also has to be approved by the fire department.
Correct.
Okay.
So they will know their.
And, yeah, that is correct. And the fire department, we are addressing the concern they had, the fire department, so we will be reducing the space that will be used for any social event. So that's, in fact, there's gonna build like big storage area. So by doing that, we reduce the space that will be used for the events. And that will take care of the concerns from the marshal.
So how many units do you have in this building to lease?
There are two that are already leased. The one is for a boutique and the other one is engineering services or something like that, IT services, and then the place for the event center.
Okay.
So there are 3 units.
Marlene, do we know how many event centers we have in this city?
The list that I was searching, I got 18, but some are like for piñatas, very small. I didn't find too many that are big, and most are limited to 100 people. And I visited some of them, and their parking is very small compared to the parking here. But there are many for piñatas, not many for like a small wedding or quinceañera. I mean, if they're limited to 95 people.
I feel like event centers are becoming like car washes.
Well, the reality is there's usually no vacancy, like everything's always booked. Every time we want to rent something, we can't even find anything.
I called several asking for dates for June or July, and most of them were booked on the weekends.
Yeah, and what happens is they only use them one day out of the week. That everybody
That's
wants a
true.
Saturday, so that's why it's so limited.
That is correct, yeah.
Any other questions? I need a motion to close public hearing. Thank you.
Please approve it.
Thank you for your comments.
Make a motion to
Thank
close
you
the
very
public
much.
hearing?
I second.
We have a first and a second to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Ma'am, I'm gonna make a motion to approve.
I second.
I'll second. Third, fourth.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those
Goodbye.
opposed? Nay. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Just one comment. This
Yes,
is
ma'am.
the first time that I'm attending a hearing, and I just feel bad that many people who may have interest on the topics that you discussed here are not here. And this is a wasted opportunity, and I'm saying that as a citizen. And I'm glad, and especially when the gentleman there was expressing the point of view for making house affordable, and those discussions are very good, and I was happy to witness that. So just
Thank
that
you.
comment.
There's
Thank you for
lots of
what you do.
city meetings that are not attended by the public, and that's very sad.
Thank you for what you do. I was impressed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Eliseo.
Good questions.
Item number 7, public hearing and action on billboard sign application 2024-01746 to request the review of a sign application to allow a billboard at the property located at 6565 North Expressway, 77 Brownsville, Texas 78520.
So this request is for a billboard application. The applicant is Lamar Outdoor Advertising. The address again is 6565 North Expressway. The current zoning for that property is light industrial, and the type of billboard proposed is a static billboard. This is an overview map of the area, including the blue dots that you can see there. Those are the nearest billboards. Distances are going to be marked towards the right between the ones in the color coded. So most of them are going to be over 2,000 feet away from the current proposed billboard. This is the current zoning map. As you can see, predominantly on the side where the billboard is going to be, it's all light industrial. And then across the street, it's a regional center, which is our higher commercial zoning. This is a basic sign description. Like I mentioned, it's going to be a static billboard, no electronics, no visual like that. TxDOT is approved on this area. The proposed area is 40 feet by 14 feet for an overall 672 square feet. The proposed elevation is 67 feet, and again, 2 faces. Distance to the closest billboard to the north on that side of the road is going to be 3,594 feet, or 0.68 miles. The distance to the south closest billboard is going to be 4,299 feet, or 0.81 miles. This is a detail of the proposed billboard. This is a survey, a site plan of the area. The location is going to be predominantly towards the north. The south area is kind of like undeveloped area. Staff does remain neutral and will follow the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission in regards to this application.
Is there a business on that lot? It's a warehouse of some sort?
No, it is a type of business, but it's not a warehouse.
This is a public hearing. If there's anyone here that would like to address this topic, if they come forward. Martin, what business is located on that site?
Is there any, who's the owner of the land?
I do not know who the owner of the land is.
Who's requesting for the sign?
Lamar.
Lamar. I need a motion to close public hearing.
So move.
Second.
We have a first and a second to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? The commission have any additional questions?
So how big is the property?
The dimension, let me see.
3.34 acres.
3.36 acres. And the only thing on that property is going to be a sign?
No, so the north, I don't know if you see that little polygon there, that is a paved area where the business currently is. And where the sign is being proposed in that top left corner is around where the parking is, the existing business.
And the closest billboards are a little more than half a mile away.
Yeah, on both sides, on north and south.
What is the wish of the commission?
Information is that the business is a semi-truck dealer.
I think there's a little office on that site, right? Okay. Any other questions?
Nope.
What is the wish of the commission?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a first and a second motion to approve. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
So move to adjourn.
I second.
We have a first and a second to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. 6:29, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
You look sharp, bro.